Let's talk about leptin. Leptin is a protein that released by adipose tissue. So what it is doing is adipose tissue be able to release a protein? Yes. It's very interesting to know that the fact there are changes in understanding on how our fat cell interact with the whole body. And one of the function of adipose tissue is known for decades is to store fat, to store excess of energy. So that one day when our body needs something, need an energy, they can just take it from adipose tissue. Recently, it has shown that that's not the only function of adipose tissue. Adipose tissue has other function. Another function is to release certain proteins. Therefore, it has been proposed that adipose tissue can be categorized as a gland. One of the tissue that can produce certain signals that controls or regulate certain part of the body. Leptin is one of those. Leptin is protein released by adipose tissue that controls metabolism and also energy intake. How leptin plays a role in that concept? So before our understanding on the leptin actually just new or just found it recently. Previously, we don't know that adipose tissue can release a protein until an experiment is happening. In this experiment, decades ago, scientists tried to silence a gene that can produce a protein then that's called leptin. That gene is called OBOB. So when the scientists silence those genes, the mice become fat. That's why the gene is called the OBOB genes. That the OBOB turns out to be a gene that produces leptin. And what happened to the mice that lost that gene was that they eat more, then they metabolize less energy. The combination of metabolisms, energy metabolism, and appetite regulation are two main functions of this protein. And follow-up of the study then conducted in human showed the importance of this protein to regulate our body weight. Study shows that when we eat more than we should, our adipose tissue enlarge. And when adipose tissue is enlarged because we accumulate a lot of fat, then what happens is that this tissue release more leptin. And then when leptin is produced more in our body, it goes to the brain and it regulates two things, appetite and metabolism. Leptin reduces appetite, making us want to eat less, and increase metabolism, increase energy metabolism. So we use more energy. Those combination is actually the stabilizer of human body weight because then the body tries to reduce the volume of the fat again by reducing energy intake and increasing energy expenditure. The same goes to weight loss program. Study shows that when somebody is trying to lose weight by reducing the volume of adipose tissue, by reducing energy intake, then adipose tissue being reduced, what happens is adipose tissue produce less leptin. And because leptin is less produced, their ability to reduce appetite and to increase metabolic rate also reduced. Meaning that this person, after a certain period of weight loss, going to have higher appetite. They want to eat more. They have problem with regulation of energy intakes. And in addition to that, their metabolism is also slower. Changes in leptin explains the reason why after a certain period of time, somebody have problem with weight plateau. This condition is usually characterized as reduction on weight loss So if somebody is usually reducing 2 kilo, 3 kilo a month, and then after a certain period of time, they only be able to reduce only one or not reducing at all. What happens next is the yo-yo. It's when they give up with the diet, go back to the dietary intake that they had before, and the weight is gaining again. This importance of leptins hallmark the influence on how our body to regulate itself. When we eat less, body try to save more energy. By reducing leptin, their appetite increase and metabolism going down. But when they eat more, the leptin is produced more, and then the appetite reduced, as well as the metabolism increase. Those mechanisms shows the importance of leptin. And what happens when people are losing weight,